You're watching 48 Fastcast.
All right, y'all, 7:01. Thanks for joining us on this frigid start here. Another cold start to our day. A little bit warmer than yesterday, though. I kind of felt the difference. I don't know if you will, but I did.
I didn't when I came out the door, but I understand it, though. It is a little bit warmer, technically, but a real cool down coming this weekend.
Yeah, first alert weather day now for Saturday, and this is for dangerous cold wind chill values. Just issued this first alert weather day for Saturday this morning, just to give you a heads up that any outside plans you thought you may have on Saturday, you might have to consider moving those inside because it's going to be that type of cold. Coldest air we've seen this season. Waking up Saturday morning anywhere from 0 to 10 below. The 3 P's of cold: people, pets, and pipes. Make sure you're taking care of all 3. Friday's actually not a bad day. We might see some snow flurries with no accumulation, but what we've got arriving into Saturday morning, this is the reason for that first alert. Everyone on Saturday morning waking up below 0, and the wind chill will stay just above 0 through the entire day on Saturday. We've got another fairly heavy frost this morning, so allow 2 to 3 minutes extra. It's not as bad as yesterday, but you're still pulling out that ice scraper. Here are your temperatures in the low to mid 20s, already upper 20s from beautiful Athens out to Decatur. Falling visibility right now over northwest Alabama, and this is freezing fog, so watch out for a few slick spots if you have to travel around Wilson Dam.
This is your 48 First Alert Road Report, sponsored by Bankston Motorhomes.
The traffic update for you, northwest Alabama. Eric just showed that camera. Watch out for that freezing fog in the shoals. But we do have a couple accidents now. Unfortunately, more volume, more cars, more accidents. Seeing that in the westbound lane. This is 565. 3 lanes blocked. Left lane's the only way you can get by. This is just beyond Toyota Field by Town Madison. Also an accident in Joe Wheeler Highway. This is by State Docks Road. And this will slow you down in the east and westbound lanes of Joe Wheeler Highway just to the west of Decatur. Jonathan?
All right, thanks, Jeff. Well, children will return to Trinity Child Development Center in Huntsville this morning. The center has, of course, been in the spotlight recently after a former employee was arrested for child sex abuse charges. Several new safety measures will go into place this morning, though. There will now be an increased police presence outside the daycare center. School staff also added that this would be arranged with the goal of not creating an intimidating environment for the children coming there. There will also be an increased teacher-to-student ratio, ideally having 3 teachers at any time. All classrooms are also now in the front main hallway. This is meant to increase visibility and access, and they've added a dedicated floating teacher who will always walk the hallways throughout the day. Well, all these changes, of course, come after Cameron White was arrested. He's now facing 2 charges involving sex abuse of a child under the age of 12. White was fired and arrested last week. A lawsuit has been filed against the church and White on behalf of the 3 victims. Church leaders told us that they told authorities the moment that they learned of the allegations. 2 administrators have also been placed on leave.
Happening today, the Alabama Supreme Court will hear immunity arguments in the murder case against a former Decatur police officer. Mac Marquette is charged in connection to the shooting death of Steve Perkins. Marquette claims he shot Perkins in self-defense. After the circuit court declined to dismiss his charge, he appealed, which was also denied. Marquette is now seeking a writ of mandamus from the state's high court. If this is approved, his murder charge could be dismissed. Huntsville attorney Nick Law is not affiliated with the case, but he has represented an officer during oral arguments in a different case. He says legal teams on both sides have spent weeks preparing.
You need to know your law, you need to know your argument, you need to know every aspect of your case, whether it's the facts of the case, the law, how both apply to one another. You need to be prepared for it all, and a lot of time and hours on both sides goes into knowing their specific case.
Morgan County prosecutors say Marquette has not shown a legal right to immunity. The arguments will be held on the campus of University of Alabama. Be sure to tune in to our later newscast for the very latest on today's arguments. Happening today, a testimony set to continue in a Decatur double murder trial. Kendall Rucker is accused of shooting and killing David Gallade and Sharonda Bolden back in 2018. 3 people testified yesterday, including a Decatur detective and 2 crime scene techs. We'll have the latest on on this trial during our evening newscast as well.
Well, we have details this morning on a wreck that involved a Limestone County deputy. Now, that crash happened on US 31 in Huntsville Browns Ferry Road. We now know that everyone involved in that crash is okay. No other details were released, but when we get some, we will share them with you. And still to come, the minimum wage in our state could soon be going up. We'll tell you how high next.
Welcome back. Minimum wage workers in Alabama could soon make more money.
Yeah, if approved, a new Senate bill would create a new state minimum wage of $10 an hour. Now, Alabama is one of 5 states that does not have a set minimum wage. The state minimum wage is currently at the federal level of $7.25. Now, that rate has not been raised in 15 years. Senator Robert Stewart says that low wages often force the state to help people through food stamps and Medicaid. Now, as we spoke with a woman in Huntsville who wished to stay anonymous, she says she earned $7.25 an hour working fast food in Tuscaloosa and then moved to Huntsville to hopefully find more opportunities for better pay. She said she had a hard time supporting her family while working at that old job.
Thank you for even pushing for a $10 bill. But we're going to have to do more. This isn't where it's going to stop. This can't be where it stops.
Now, small businesses with 50 or fewer employees will be exempt from this measure. If the bill is passed into law, it would go into effect on January 1st of next year.
Now, your First Alert weather with meteorologist Eric Burke.
Well, good Wednesday morning once again. We've got a First Alert weather day for Saturday for all of North Alabama, Middle Tennessee, and this is for the coldest air we have seen so far this season. I feel like I've said that a few times, but this is definitely the coldest air we have seen so far this season. Showing up on Saturday as our wind chill will fall anywhere from 0 to 10 below, waking up on Saturday morning. Today, though, kind of a warmer day. A lot of that has to do with less windy conditions. Wind from the northwest about 5 to 10. Highs will hit the low 40s. Few flurries possible on Friday. Just flurries, no impacts accumulation. Dangerous cold starts to rush in by Saturday morning. Here's a look at future radar on Friday. Friday morning, 9:30. Temperatures are in the low to mid 30s, and we've got a little bit of flurry activity, potentially even wrapping around into Friday afternoon. One of the warmer days of the week. Why not take those younger kids out to the park, get some fresh air, let them run around, burn some energy. And here we go, Saturday. See a blinking red there. Huntsville Havoc at home Friday and Saturday. A 2-game homestand, 34 on Sunday, and then Groundhog Day itself on Monday, 42, partly cloudy.
All right, we got, of course, Sand Mountain Sam, who's also going to be making a prediction, so hopefully he's going to give us a little bit of spring soon.
I'll pay him. I'll bribe him. Whatever.
There you go.
Like crickets, insects, that's what they eat.
Whatever he wants,
so, yeah.
All right, y'all have a good one. We'll see you throughout the morning with more news, traffic, and weather on air.